learn the history of the NFL.
Oh.
We're going to learn about the history before we get into it.
Make sure you smash the subscribe and follow button. And if you haven't already, hype up this video.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
You know, the NFL used to look like this.
Oh my
The field
God.
used to be this small.
Oh.
The players didn't use helmets. Much has changed throughout the years. So how did we get here? Well, it all started back in 1892 when the sport was stolen. England made up this crazy game called rugby using this field and this ball. So Americans just took everything and called it football. The only difference was they made football extremely deadly because, well, they both didn't wear any helmets or pads. Instead of tackling, football players would fist fight, bite each other's ears
Oh
off,
my
or
God.
even gouge each other's eyes out.
Oh my.
Yo, the Americans are trying to kill each other. What's going on here?
Don't sound like it's a sport. It sounds like they're trying to wipe each other out.
Yeah, what is going on?
Exterminate.
Yeah.
Bad that by 1906, over 100 people had died from playing football.
Oh
and
my
thousands of
gosh.
others
It's
became
not a
disabled.
joke.
But in 1920, football became a game instead of a crime when a player named Jim Thorpe formed the first ever pro football league and finally introduced some rules which stopped players from dying so much.
There we
They
go.
got some shoulder pads and leather helmets, told everyone to stop fist fighting, and calling it the American Professional Football Association, or APFA. Yeah, the name was Booty. So 2 years later they changed it, and in 1922, the world was finally blessed with the NFL.
Wow.
Now, there's
Makes
14
sense.
chapters in the NFL's history, and next up we got 1922, an era where the league was terrible. There was no Super Bowl, no game schedule. I mean, teams would literally play whenever they wanted. And when it comes to players, the pay was so bad, it wasn't a full-time gig. So the league was filled with milkmen and coal miners in jerseys. And
See, I think
Like
every
NBA.
sport
Yeah.
starts like this, you know? I'm sure there's sports in the UK which was like this, like our football.
Oh, 100%.
It just started as a small thing and, you know, with time got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it just started like a little entertainment.
Yeah.
And I guess more people wanted to watch it. There was more money involved.
Rules started to go in place.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
let's just say that you were a fan that could look past all of that. Were you really gonna support the Columbus Panhandles, the Moline Universal Tractors, or whatever the hell this is?
Steamrollers, look at
those
the logo.
were real NFL teams. It was impossible to be a fan, and the NFL knew it too, because the league just wasn't growing. Over the next 20 years, things only got worse. I mean, 14 different teams went bankrupt, and those that did survive had to take out loans to pay their players. Plus,
Oh
the
my
NFL
gosh.
wasn't even the best football league. College football was literally 20 times more popular.
Oh my
It was looking like the
God.
beginning of the end.
So college football started
But in
proper.
1949, the NFL came up with a genius solution, implementing 3 key changes that no other league had at the time. They added set game schedules, started televising games, and to help with reducing injuries, the NFL introduced plastic helmets.
The inventor sure has faith in his helmet, for he's going to try it out himself. And now watch him
Don't
take
tell me he's gonna get.
right on the old beam.
I was literally gonna say, don't tell me he's gonna get kicked
What a
in
way
the
to
head.
test it.
Regardless of having the helmet, he should not be getting booted.
Do you
in
think he
the
got a
head like that.
concussion after that?
He got something because he literally just got kicked in the
Literally.
head.
You could tell he didn't like it.
Guys, that's crazy. No.
Oh.
Yeah, along with some new teams
What?
like the Colts,
Again?
Browns, and 49ers. And all these
What's he
changes
gonna keep
were
booting
because
him?
the 1958 NFL Championship had become the most watched sporting event in TV history. See,
Wow.
the 2 biggest teams in the league, the New York Giants and Baltimore Colts, were facing off. And after going back and forth all game, the 2 teams went into the first ever sudden death overtime. So everyone and their mom tuned in. I'm talking 45 million people, literally 9
Damn.
times more than the year before. In the 1960s, a rival league was formed called the AFL, which introduced teams like the Texans, Chargers, Bills, Raiders, and Patriots. And their owners
Raiders
were way
are-
more rich and way more greedy, so they were trying to take the NFL down by any means necessary, like stealing their players, nabbing their TV contracts. They even paid players so much that the NFL couldn't afford to stay in business. So the NFL had no choice but to play dirty back by stealing the AFL star players, like Pete Gogolak. But after 7 years of back and forth, it became clear nobody was winning. So to avoid bankruptcy, the 2 decided to merge and become one league, called the NFL. Again. Now, we've got 9 more chapters
That's
about the
interesting.
NFL's history coming up. And that's not all. We'll talk about the future, too, because the NFL will be implementing artificial intelligence that predicts plays before they even happen. And the league wants to replace refs with AI. Yeah, the NFL's changing a lot. But if you want to make a change, too, you should check out today's sponsor, BetterHelp. And afford you proving your miss, it can really happen. There's so dumb. Just controversial moments.
Didn't
in
we do a
NFL
sponsorship with BetterHelp?
We did promote BetterHelp.
Yeah, I thought so.
I had thought so as well.
BetterHelp.
they
Guys should
were-
look into it.
They're a good company to work with.
What
Yeah.
happened during the final play of a 1972 AFC playoff game. The Steelers quarterback threw the ball. It bounced off a player's helmet, and not only that, it somehow fell into another player's hands, and the Steelers scored the game-winning touchdown. This play was so incredible, it became forever known as the Immaculate Reception. But here's the problem. Back then, once the ball left a quarterback's hands, an offensive player could not catch a pass that had been touched by another offensive player, unless a defensive player had touched the ball. But when you watch the tape back, it's impossible to tell if a defensive player ever actually touched the ball.
Yeah, did they touch it or
this
not?
Instantly sparked outrage.
Looked like they
Raiders
did.
players and fans saying that catch should not have counted.
When a guy crosses a goal line, it's either a touchdown or it's not. They didn't call it a touchdown. They didn't know if it was a touchdown. I went out. They said, get away. We don't know what happened. So now the referee leaves that huddle, and he goes over to the dugout on the Pittsburgh Steelers side, and he gets on the phone, and he makes a call to someone. Then he hangs up. Then he walks out into the middle field and says, touchdown. 5 or 10 minutes later.
We were in the locker room. John came in and just said, guys, we got screwed.
They call it the Immaculate Reception. I call it the Immaculate Deception.
Yeah,
Damn.
and it's still being debated to this day. The rest of the decade, though, was all about domination, because the Steelers became a dynasty, winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. With 9
Wow.
Hall of Fame players on their team. It was unthinkable, but they
9.
weren't alone, because the
My
Dallas
God.
Cowboys won 2 Super Bowls, and were actually so good, they became known as America's team. But nobody won like the Miami Dolphins, because to this day, going 17-0.
That's it. It's over. There you go, Nicky.
Oh, what? So is there only 17 games back then in a season? Am I right to say that? Because obviously NBA has way more games. I don't know how much they play in the NBA, but it's way, way, way more. So yeah.
That's right, man.
However, in 1980, the NFL was forced to prepare for his funeral.
1980s.
Over the last decade,
climbing.
there were 3 separate plane crashes carrying sports teams.
Oh,
from the
sad.
Marshall University football team to the University of Evansville and the United States boxing team, all resulting in the deaths of 191 people.
Good evening.
R.I.P.
A charter jet carrying the Marshall University football team home to West Virginia crashed last night as it tried to land at the Huntington Airport. All 75 persons aboard were killed. It was the worst plane crash in the United States so far this year.
This
Damn.
shook the sports world and made the NFL completely change their views on safety. So they cooked up all kinds of guidelines, like the disaster draft, where if a team suffers a tragedy, the league will host an emergency draft to replace their players. But the NFL wanted to improve safety on the field too, so they implemented stricter rules on contact to the head, neck, and face, making sure the chances of disaster were slim to none, which is exactly what the league needed. In 1985, the 49ers drafted the greatest wide receiver of all time, a man who still holds the most receiving yards in NFL history and has the most touchdowns of all time, the one and only Jerry Rice.
Jerry
but
Rice.
He wasn't the only legend on the Niners, because he teamed up with legendary quarterback Joe Montana, and together, those two dominated
Such
the
a
rest
name,
of the 80s,
Joe
winning
Montana.
Montana.
That's what do you call it?
Like a mafia
Yeah,
Scarface.
mafia name,
Like
Joe Montana.
He was connected
Fats Montana.
with the Italians.
2 Super Bowls together. These dudes were NFL stars, but by the 90s, an unlikely star would come around to steal the spotlight.
Oh,
The
MJ.
Super Bowl was the most popular thing on TV, pulling in an average 80 million viewers per year.
That's a
but
lot.
there was a problem. The halftime shows sucked, and they knew that if they wanted to increase their viewership, they had to get their act together, do something that would get everyone talking about the Super Bowl. So they called up the biggest star in the world,
R.I.P.
Michael Jackson. And he put on the performance
W.
of a lifetime, with viewership exploding to an insane 133 million.
Oh my God.
Hurricane machines and the Moonwalker himself formed the centerpiece of the high.
Imagine watching that live and being at the Super Bowl. Oh,
that is an experience.
crazy.
Yeah.
Rated television broadcast of all time.
This was the moment that halftime shows became the must-see event of the year. I mean, people would tune in just to see the halftime show.
They set a standard.
That's still the case to this day.
Oh, the year I was born.
It was June 12,
Better be something good.
1994. Everyone was just going about their day when news broke that the ex-wife of one of the NFL's biggest stars, O.J. Simpson, was stabbed to death. People were shocked and started to question if OJ had anything to do with it.
So this is, I believe Kim Kardashian's dad was his lawyer. And it was so bait that he done the murder, but Kim Kardashian's dad got him off it. That's what I hear. Is that how it ended up? Because a lot of people say like he done it, but I've not dwelled into it too much to even know the situation.
But just a couple of days after the murder, every TV station was hit with a breaking news alert saying,
O.J. Simpson vanishes after being charged for a crime his fans never dreamed he could commit.
Unbelievably, the most watched, most wondered about man in America has gone missing tonight. He apparently disappeared from under the noses of his lawyers and doctors this afternoon, dodged an arranged surrender, and vanished into the Los Angeles haze. There is nothing like this in memory. Nothing. I understand we're going to go to a live picture in Los Angeles. Okay. Police believe he is in that vehicle. Police radio is saying that Simpson, the passenger in the car, has a gun at his head.
This was insane. Like, just imagine a player today like Tom Brady going on the run for murder. It was unlike anything the world had ever seen. So once word got around, over 95 million people tuned in to watch OJ speed down the LA highway as he narrowly missed hitting civilians on the road.
Insane.
Yeah, I think I just saw OJ Simpson on the 5 freeway, and we like looked at him, you know, and he like stared us down like he was dead.
Had to be the year I'm born, some madness happens, and not the good kind of madness.
It's okay, honey. You were the good that came out that year.
45-minute
True.
chase. OJ
I like
surrendered,
that.
but
I like
the case
that.
was far from over, because as OJ went to trial, he argued that he had nothing to do with the murders, the evidence had been mishandled, and that the cops had been racist against him. But despite his pleas, all signs pointed to OJ being guilty. No, the entire public knew it. Like, why would you run from the police like that if you're innocent? But in the end, one crucial piece of evidence saved OJ's life.
Item number 9, the Rockingham glove. Well, at this time, the people would ask that Mr. Simpson step forward and try on the glove recovered at Bundy as well as the glove recovered at Rockingham.
Yes.
It doesn't fit.
All right. Thank you, Counsel.
It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
So if that did fit coincidentally, imagine that ended up fitting, he would have looked even more guilty, whether he did it or not. He just in general, if that fitted somehow, he would have been finished, basically.
Well, what if, like, I don't know, they didn't have his size glove and he just went for the bigger size?
Don't know, innit?
I'm just saying.
True. The shop ran out of size XXXLs. Or maybe he was
I don't think that should prove that someone didn't do a murder.
Or maybe he might be so clever, he's like, I've got massive hands. He probably has massive hands because he's an NFL player, I'm assuming. I've got massive hands. For me to like get away with this, I need to get a size that's normal and just use it on the day, even though it's tight. I just need to deal with it. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to it though. Can't just be about the gloves.
Guilty of a crime of murder. Yeah, and he had all charges dropped against him. To this day, though, people still think OJ really did it. And to be honest,
yeah, a lot of people talk about
things like this.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't.
After we finished filming.
Not gonna lie though, in psychology,
because of things like this,
they say,
did you do it?
Look, he instantly looked away and look at his eyes.
After we.
No, but he looked at the camera.
No, he didn't.
It's because of things
Don't
like
look
this.
like it. Let's see again.
Just did you do it?
What? Look, she asked him the question. He's currently looking at her.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
After we finish.
He looked guilty. Tim, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very unbiased in this situation. I don't know exactly what happened, but his response looked guilty. That's me just looking at it as an outsider's perspective. Whether he is or not, obviously I don't know. But based on what I learned in psychology, I've done psychology at a high level. That response looked guilty as fuck, based on body language.
Finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke.
Now, this moment really marked the beginning of NFL.
That's pretty wild.
Why is that a joke?
As the rest of the 90s were just as
a bit
unhinged.
nuts.
Ray Caruth hired a hitman
I
to shoot
did
his
it.
girlfriend.
That's what I'm
Lonzo
trying to
Spellman
say.
threatened to kill himself with a landline
Well, hold on, we're missing this, hold on.
because the rest of the 90s were just as unhinged. Ray Caruth hired a hitman to shoot his girlfriend.
Oh, damn.
Lonzo Spellman threatened to kill himself with a landline telephone, all because his doctor was late to his appointment. And Cecil Collins was arrested for breaking into a woman's house to watch her sleep. He just stood there and watched.
Nah, that's creepy as hell. Who are these? Whose mans are these?
That sounds like some Vampire Diary stuff.
Oh, he's on
Where the
some
vampire
weird-
just watches over, just watching the girl sleeping.
Waiting for his prey. What is going on? Alright, we're in the 2000s. Get us out of the 90s.
Cash ruled the 2000s. Between merchandise, TV deals, and sponsorships, business was booming. The NFL was now worth $12 billion.
Billion,
Piece of the
with a B.
bag, too. So to keep their stars happy, the NFL was forced to pay up big time, which had Brett Favre now making $47 million for 7 years.
That's amazing.
Randy Moss was making $66 million for
Wow.
8 years. Hell, even safeties like Lawyer Malloy were making $35 million for 7 years. NFL players were getting you money, but in 2001, Drew Bledsoe smashed all the records because he was considered the best quarterback in the league, and the Patriots wanted to make sure their star was taken care of. So they offered a record-breaking $103 million contract for 10 years. But by 2001, all of that money went to waste and was sidelined for the entire season.
No.
The Patriots were the favorite to win it all that season, and now they were missing their star quarterback and had to rely on their backup. A guy with no experience was the 199th pick in the draft.
You saw this tall, gangly looking kid. Looked like having ever seen a weight room. Ran a 5.2 something, one of the slowest quarterbacks in the combine.
Tom Brady has been put into quarterback.
So that was Tom Brady. That is
What?
crazy. I
Oh
saw Brady.
my
I was like, it
gosh.
can't be the same Brady, is it?
What the hell?
Looked like having ever seen a...
So he had no hope, and then he ended
He
up
was
being the
based,
GOAT.
and he was 199 pick.
So he had no hope.
Guys, you
Anything
are
is
capable
possible.
of doing anything in life, okay?
Anything's possible.
Literally.
weight room. Ran a 5.2 something, one of the slowest quarterbacks in the combine.
Tom Brady has been put into quarterback and Drew Bledsoe taken out.
Tom Brady, the second-year quarterback from the University of Michigan, who threw only 3 passes in his rookie year last year, 1 for 3, a 6-yard completion, and this is his first duty of 2001. So apparently Bledsoe knocked around a little more than it appeared, and Brady in charge against 5 defensive backs.
This man came in and instantly became a star, leading the team to a Super Bowl and winning it all that season. Brady quickly became the face of the Patriots, and soon after, the entire NFL. Yeah, if it wasn't for Drew's injury, Tom Brady might have never happened.
Imagine. That's how you know things will just fall. Like if the stars are aligned, it will happen. You know what I'm saying? God's plan.
It was all, it was all God's plan.
That injury created the legend.
Oh my gosh. It's sad on the guy that got injured. I hope he recovered, but
Nah,
for
but
Tom
he's
Brady,
probably glad because Tom Brady is such an icon. Like Tom Brady might not ever exist
It's
if
true.
that injury didn't happen. Literally, like, he took an NFL to the next level.
But by 2003, there was another quarterback who was dominating the field. A man that could move like a running back, throw bombs like Tom Brady.
Oh, good
and
pass.
defenses dropping to their knees. I'm talking about Michael Vick. See, for the first time ever, the league saw a quarterback that could beat you with no help and could run into the end zone at any moment. Before Michael Vick, quarterbacks were mostly handing off or throwing the ball. But now you had to worry about a quarterback being a damn running back. And this style of play paved the way for future dual threats, like Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, and Russell Wilson. At this point,
He paved the way.
NFL was in its prime. But something happened in 2004 that scarred NFL fans for life.
Houston!
Uh-oh.
It was the Super Bowl 38 halftime show. Over 144 million people watching live. You had little kids to grandparents, all huddled around their TV. And they were all excited to see two of the biggest stars in the world perform. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
Not gonna lie, early 2000s, Justin Timberlake, like,
he was the guy,
played
man. Cry me a river.
in the UK, like, you'll have your MP3, little small Walkman, and you'll be playing Justin Timberlake on your headphones in the playground between classes. You get it?
Yeah.
He was that guy.
And I'll be sitting there chilling. Cry me a river.
And then Fats will start crying.
No, I wouldn't cry.
No, she would.
In the rain. In the rain. Cry me a river.
Finally took the stage. The world shook. But during the final minutes of their epic performance, Justin was supposed to rip off a part of Janet's costume to reveal another layer of her outfit. But instead, he had a wardrobe malfunction. And this went down as the legendary nipple.
No.
No, it was not planned. Well, what people don't understand is he was to take and rip the piece off that he did.
The leather piece.
Right, but more came off than what was supposed to.
Now, over the next 3 years...
I believe that. I don't know. Something tells me she's genuine.
Yeah, because she looked shocked.
She
was like, what on earth?
Her tone is very genuine.
The babes are out to party.
The only exciting thing that happened was Peyton Manning having his glow-up, winning his second MVP, and taking home his first ring. And also, the NFL decided to ban touchdown celebrations. One of the dumbest decisions the NFL's ever made. But in 2007, shit really hit the fan, because an entire team's reputation was ruined. See, it was the first week of the season, and the Patriots were destroying the Jets.
Able to go long for Moss.
Oh, what a catch and pass. Wow.
It seemed like the Patriots somehow knew every one of the Jets' moves. And that's because they did. Because it turned out they were spying on the Jets, using hidden cameras. And when the NFL launched an investigation, they found out the Pats had been creeping on not only the Jets, but the entire league for almost 8 years.
What?
Yeah, New England was a bunch of damn cheaters. So the NFL fined their ass $250,000 and made them give up their 2008 first-round pick. But despite getting
that's a light fine, I
having a
reckon.
target on their back, nothing could stop the Patriots. Because that same season, they went on to dominate the league. I mean, they managed to put together the greatest team the NFL had ever seen. They had guys like Randy Moss, Lawrence Maroney, Vince Wilfork, and Sammy Morris all teamed up with Tom Brady. And together, they went 16-0. All they had to do was win the Super Bowl, and they would have completed a perfect season. So, going into the big game, it seemed like a lock for the Patriots. And with a minute left, with the Patriots up, it looked like they were gonna go undefeated until the Giants made the greatest catch in NFL history.
Pressure from Thomas off
Oh, good movement. Oh, how's he still standing?
He's on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Just.
This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player. Harrison trying to knock it down. And Eli, man, I don't know how he got out of there. I thought he was
I don't know how he's still standing.
He was determined.
And just slings it.
So Logan saying Eli is Peyton's brother. Okay, that's fair. So I'm guessing he's very good as well. Clearly, younger brother. Nice.
The Giants have won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
But for Brady and the Patriots, this was the worst moment of their lives. Keep in mind though, he was only 30 years old, so he knew he would return next year better than ever. Well, that is if he wasn't killed.
He wasn't killed?
Because in 2009, the Saints were caught trying to kill quarterbacks. See, after the playoffs, the Vikings filed a complaint to the NFL, accusing the Saints of purposely trying to injure them. So the league launched an investigation into the Saints and discovered something sinister.
Today, our partners at Yahoo Sports uncovered a recording, and on it, a New Orleans coach graphically telling players to inflict injuries in a big playoff game.
That's bad.
A lot of guys up at the top. Kill the hit, the body will die.
kill the head, the body.
Oh my god, he's going to saying take their head off basically, and they're out.
What the hell?
I get you want to be competitive, but that's not the right way of doing it. That's
Definitely
disgusting.
not. What on earth?
That's some satanic shit.
Yeah.
We got to do everything in the world to make sure we kill Frank Gore's head. We want him running sideways. We want his head sideways.
Yo, that's disgusting. I'm actually in shock. Like, he's literally he means that shit. Like, I thought he's just saying it and trying to hype up the team to play, aggressive. He means that shit. Like, he's saying it from his heart that he wants someone dead, basically, so that way they can
He's saying
have an
kill
easy
him
win.
so we can get to the top.
Yeah. Insane. What the hell?
The Saints were giving players bonuses for tearing ACLs, hitting guys with existing injuries,
come on.
even paying them $35,000 to try and permanently injure the Vikings quarterback. But in the end, the Saints got hit the hardest, because 4 of their players were suspended for a total of 31 games, and 2 of their coaches were suspended for the entire season.
Nasty.
Over the next few
They
years,
should have got
we saw some of
fired.
the most ridiculous moments in NFL history. Marshawn Lynch had a touchdown that was so crazy, all the fans cheering caused a 2.0 magnitude earthquake.
Sick.
Brett Favre sent nudes to a Jets employee and got fined $50,000, and a snowstorm caused the Vikings' whole stadium to collapse, causing $18.3 million
I think we saw that one.
was how the NFL almost ruined the league for a season. See, the refs felt like they were overworked and underpaid, so they went on strike, saying the NFL was a bunch of cheap asses, and they weren't going to work until they got a fair deal. But the NFL responded by laughing in their face and hiring the worst replacements imaginable. You had refs that had only ever reffed in a high school game, and even some that had only reffed in a lingerie football league. Yeah, those were the guys now reffing in the NFL. And it wasn't about as horribly as you'd expect. They were out there blowing calls and completely ruining games. Like the Fail Mary, where at the last second, the Seahawks won on a catch that should not have counted, and fans lit up the NFL, starting the hashtag Things Better Than Replacement Refs, and even started boycotting the NFL entirely. Hell, even Obama tweeted about it. Thankfully though, that nightmare only lasted about 3 weeks, because the NFL finally made a deal with their refs, giving them a major increase in salary and benefits.
They try and save money by getting the cheap in, but you pay for what you get.
And they're basically trying to say, your guy's job ain't that difficult. We'll just hire anyone to do it.
But
That's what they're trying to say.
Then they realise, oh crap, like it is difficult to get it right, and the fans are pissed. We got to
The
bring
thing is,
it
you
back.
can't just have anybody being a ref, because then that person would just foul everyone left, right, and centre.
Well, I make bad calls.
Yeah.
They'll be making bad calls. That's the main thing.
And afterwards, the commissioner even apologized to the fans.
Starting with our fans, and we're sorry to have to bring our fans through that. We're sorry to bring the general public through that.
But the rest of the decade had some of the most legendary moments
Nice,
in NFL
look at that.
history.
Athletic.
Like
That was
OBJ's
beautiful.
all-time catch,
Oh.
the Packers' miracle in Motown, and the Seahawks throwing away the Super Bowl at the 1-yard line. Yeah, that one hurts. There's one moment, though, that'll be remembered for all the wrong reasons. The biggest cheating scandal in sports history.
Oh, this is about the deflating balls, I
During
think.
the 2015 playoffs, the New England Patriots were taking on the Colts when Tom Brady threw a pass that got intercepted. But instead of celebrating, the Colts were pissed because the football felt deflated. So they took the ball over to the sideline and showed the ref. And what happened next shocked the entire football world.
It's the latest NFL scandal, and it's dominating the airwaves.
Deflategate. Deflategate.
Deflategate.
From the morning shows to talk radio, instead of talking about the Super Bowl, all eyes are on the ball. This ball.
The NFL found that 11 of the Pats' 12 balls were illegally underinflated, and the Pats immediately got put on blast, getting called cheaters again by angry fans, and having every sports show on TV trash their name.
Not gonna lie, it doesn't look good, especially when you've been caught cheating previously and then you're doing like this. It's a very bad look for your team. But I think we done a video on the Deflategate a year ago.
Yeah, we did.
It was about a year ago, and I believe I don't know. We'll find out what happens in the end. I don't remember, but let's get the conclusion, then I'll talk on it.
They were even accusing Tom Brady of being the ringleader, because, well, he was the one throwing the balls. And the NFL found some pretty sus texts between Brady and a couple of Patriots employees, talking about air pumps and needles, blowing up balls. One of the dudes even called himself the Deflater. So, after a year-long investigation,
that sounds
the
gooey.
NFL put their deflated balls right in the Patriots' mouth, suspending Tom Brady for 4 games, taking 2 first-round picks, and finding the team $1 million.
Oh.
But it still wasn't enough to ruin Tom Brady's career, because that season, he made the greatest comeback in NFL history. See, after dealing with the suspension to start the year, Tom brought the Pats all the way to the Super Bowl. And despite being down 28-3 with only 15 minutes left in the game, they somehow came back and won it all. After this, Tom Brady became the undisputed GOAT, the greatest player in NFL history. And it's not even a debate. Now, between 2017 and 2020, the NFL had its craziest time period ever. The Browns lost every single game for almost 2 years straight. Aaron Hernandez went off the deep end. Pats owner Robert Kraft was busted at a rub and tug. Colin Kaepernick kneeled for the national anthem. Gronk broke the Super Bowl trophy. Saints fans tried to sue the NFL. And Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers and won his 7th ring at 42 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, things got pretty ridiculous. But now, we gotta talk about the most ridiculous player in NFL history. A dude that's known for jumping into goalposts.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Working after touchdowns. And even arriving to practice in a hot air balloon. I'm talking about Antonio Brown.
Oh,
and in 2022,
him.
NFL saw him lose his damn mind because he literally retired in the middle of a game.
Odd situation. Antonio Brown boiled over, very upset on the sideline, took off his shoulder pads. Mike Evans.
He was the Kanye West of the NFL.
Yeah. Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pads, stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field, giving the crowd a peace out sign. I'll let you know when we hear something official on his status.
Thank you, Jen. It may be an Antonio Brown out in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that was actually the last time I ever saw AB in the NFL. And since then, the game has had some huge changes. Tom Brady retired, the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, and stars like Patrick Mahomes are earning bags we've never seen, making a ridiculous $503 million for a 10-year contract.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah. But it was I don't. Yeah, it was
no,
500.
we saw 400, I think.
So 500 mil, $500 million. But then I did say it was 10 years of his life though. So it's long. And bear in mind, you can get injured and be off. Guys, what happens if you have a contract like that and then you get injured like badly? I'm guessing.
Yeah, do you still get paid that?
I'm guessing you don't. They can pull out surely because obviously, guys, let us know how that works.
It's $500 million for throwing a damn ball. Well, look, where the game is
10 years his whole career, though.
Because recently, the NFL dropped a documentary exposing their plans
to do the same type of thing with next-gen stats. We can overlay player routes and understand the play before it even happened.
Yeah, and that's not it. Because the NFL is going to let fans track them using AI software. Also, there's even been discussions of replacing refs entirely with AI. This is the future of the
AI,
NFL.
man.
And keep in mind, we're only a couple of years into AI. So in 5 or 10 years, the game's gonna look a whole lot different.
Guys, if me and Fats replace ourselves with AI, would you guys still watch? That's the real question.
That is the real question.
Or is Yass and Fats only Yass and Fats because we're Yass and Fats?
Exactly.
Or can a robot do our job?
Imagine the robot.
Go on.
You'll be like, but before we do, make sure you smash the subscribe.
And then Fats will malfunction. Smash.